Okie dokie. We're recording now. At least I think we are. But Monday, start of the new week. It's been a bit of a chaotic Monday, I'll tell you that much. It's already 7:45 at night and I've yet to train. I mean, it's not unheard of for me to train at night time, obviously. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that it does happen. But lately, because Monday is my less busy day, I guess you could say, there's no check-ins or anything of that sort. Usually Mondays I'm at the gym quite early, but I kind of fucked up today. Slept through my alarm. I also had really broken sleep last night. I don't know if it's the bed or just the weight gain in general, but I found that lately I've been waking up with like a dead arm. The whole left side of my body kind of goes numb. I get pins and needles and I get this like burning sensation in my hand. And it really just fucks my sleep completely. Could be in part the growth hormone, in part the weight gain, just the sheer rate of gain or the sheer magnitude of weight that I have gained throughout this push phase so far. I mean, I've never been 265 pounds in my life. The heaviest I ever got prior to my last contest prep, so prior to this current improvement phase, my peak off-season weight was, I want to say 240 pounds, 245. And now I'm hitting 265, so it's pretty up there. And I'd imagine it has to do with the sheer, like I said, magnitude of weight that I've gained and the weight that I'm actually currently sitting at and maintaining, as well as the shitty bed and the growth hormone. So yeah, it's probably all three things, to be fair. It's not any one individual thing in isolation. But nonetheless, my sleep, that goes to show how sleep deprived I am. My sleep has been fucked lately. I've been waking up, I'd have to guess, every hour or every other hour of the night. And so recovery hasn't been the best, which means until I sort this sleep out, which I think will involve getting a massage to release some tight muscles in the shoulder blade, getting a mattress topper, and teaching myself to sleep on my back instead of my side. Until I get that all sorted, I might have to scale my training volume back a little bit, because recovery just isn't where I want it to be. And I mean, when it comes to your training, the biggest contributor to fatigue in your training is going to be volume. So the total number of reps, the total number of sets you're doing at whatever given load you're working with. So hypothetically speaking, in a scenario where you have two identical individuals, identical in every way, genetics, the amount of sleep they're getting, the quality of sleep, that sort of thing, lifestyle stress. If one's doing 120 sets per week, the other one's doing 80 sets per week, let's just assume that 80 sets gets results. It might not, but let's just in this situation assume it gets results. Say it's a minimum effective dose of volume for this individual. Well, the individual living the alternative scenario where they're doing 120 sets, they're going to accumulate fatigue a lot faster than the one that's doing 80 working sets. So when recovery is suffering, albeit lack of sleep in my instance, or whatever reason, scaling volume back a little bit is a way to kind of manage that and balance the scales, so to speak, so you can still basically come out on top and progress and move forward. So what I might do today, I'll see how I feel, but what I might do is I might drop off either one exercise for chest, or I might drop off a working set for a few exercises, just to kind of dial back the volume a little bit, because this is a very high volume session. I love training, I love doing a lot of volume, I love training hard, but I've also got to be realistic with myself. If sleep has been in the absolute gutter lately, then I might have to scale things back. So I'll see how I go. But body weight's been basically maintaining since last week. I did my check-in for my coach today. I'll probably get a response from him sometime in the next few hours and see what the plan of action is for the week moving forward. But yeah, currently still 350 protein, 800 carb and 50 fat per day, one off-plan meal per week. And yeah, body weight's just been maintaining. Actually dropped a little bit this morning from what it's been maintaining out throughout last week. So I suspect at the very least calories will stay the same, but potentially calories might get increased this week. Marginally, when I say increase, probably like by a few percent, nothing crazy. Because you only want to do what is necessary to move the needle. And doing anything more than that is just unnecessary. So a lot of the time, just a small, minute adjustment is all that is required. Might mean, say, an extra 25 to 50 grams of carbohydrates per day, tops. And that can usually get the needle moving again. So that could potentially happen. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, I've got my Gatorade. I've got some Rice Krispie treats. Again, I don't think I'll eat them. I just can't be fucked eating, to be honest. So I'll have the Gatorade. And if I do need the additional carbohydrates, say I start going hyperglycemic, I'll come out and I'll buy another Gatorade. I'm really hoping that I can get my hands on some decent carb powder soon though, because it's not the cheapest thing buying Gatorades. And usually I don't, but just because I'm running a little bit behind the 8 ball today and trying to ensure that I have adequate carbohydrates to basically support this session. I don't want to say cutting corners, but I'm just improvising. Let's just say that. I'm improvising and adapting to the less than ideal conditions. I'm also going to have an energy drink, and I shouldn't be doing this because of the time it is, but I figure, you know what, my sleep's already fucked, so how bad could it really get? And that's not a good attitude to have, but I just want to smash this, get that session done, and then head home, finish my food, edit some videos because I'm quite behind in that. Last week really did a number on me, guys. Like, it really burnt me out. I'm not sure if anybody else here watching this video is quite introverted, but I'm very introverted. With the exception of being able to talk to my camera like I am right now, I'm not a very extroverted person, or I can't do socializing to a large extent. So I find as much as I enjoy it, it burns me the fuck out, and I need a solid 3 to 5 days to fully recover. Almost like to the degree to which I need to lock myself in my house and just have like noise, sound, interaction deprivation to fully bounce back and recharge. So yeah, we'll see how things go, and then I'll see you guys in there in the gym. Right, because the gym is quite busy at the minute, and because I did skip these on last week's first training session, I'm not going to do it a second week in a row. So, carbs to kick the session off, and it's jammed, great. So I go 225 calories. I will just do 3 MyRep match sets. As you can probably tell too, actually you might not be able to tell, I don't know how good quality camera footage is, but the edema is completely gone. So I'm convinced that the last of the edema was growth hormone related. So there was a different brand of growth hormone I was using, and I think it was that. So since switching, it's been fine. So it could just be me and my own individual response to that, because I know some people have been fine using it, but that's the thing, like we don't all respond to drugs the same way. And that's something that I want to hit home really hard, because a lot of people think it's as simple as, oh, I'll just do that guy's course, I'll just do that guy's cycle, what he's doing, and I'll look like that guy. So no, it's not that simple. In fact, it's never that fucking simple. There's so many factors that go into the reason why somebody looks the way they look. And sure, drugs play a role in that, but it is not the sole reason why they look the way they do, or even the predominant reason. It's just a factor, a contributing factor, and a relatively small one at that, to be completely fair. I'm not saying that drugs don't work. They work very well, especially if you respond well to them. But again, individual responses will vary. Some people will respond incredibly well to certain compounds, whereas others won't as much. So yeah, anyway, long story short, I just didn't really respond very well to that growth hormone. So, I mean, I responded well in the sense that I got all the benefits, but I got a lot of negatives too. And the negatives of having edema, even though it wasn't detrimental, like it was a benign cause of edema, it's still not good to have edema. So I just had to cut my losses and not use it anymore. But yeah, as long as it doesn't return, I know it was just that, and there was no other contributing variables and no other remaining contributing variables. I know earlier on it was due to infection within my body, the bacteria that I had, but the antibiotics did sort that. At least, knock on wood, seems that way. All right, time for set number 2. Two more. Yeah, last set of these, and then hopefully the cable fly area is a little bit quieter by the time I finish here. I doubt it, but one can only hope. Four more. Okay. Hopefully this bench is straight enough and I don't have to fuck around moving it around. So I got 12, 11, 10 last week. Shit. Oh. Bench looks a bit crooked, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because the cable station that I'm using isn't straight with the flooring. Oh. Now, I do apologise, there's not going to be a lot of talking in today's training session because it's too fucking loud in here. I can barely hear myself. So I'm going to put my noise cancellation on and just smash out my session. So if you want to watch, stick around. If you don't, piss off. Right, so 15 on that one. I should be able to hit a PB on all sets tonight then. Actually, I'll put the cables down one notch. Got a touch high on that last set. This way I won't be pushed into elevation at the stretch. My shoulders will be able to stay a little bit more depressed. One to go. Then fucking incline, Smith press. Right, final set. Alright, get out of the way now. One exercise down. Three chest exercises to go. That's if I don't cut one of them. Okay, set number one. Got 3 by 10 last week at 2 plates, so if we get an easy 10 on this, I'll increase the weight just to aim for lower reps in the second and third sets. Might keep it at that weight for set number 2. Try slightly, oh, the throat's tightening up. Try slightly, still tight. What I was saying is, try a slightly closer grip. So I'll do that and see how that feels. If it still feels a little bit questionable, I'll keep it this weight for the third set, but if it feels good, after adjusting the grip, I'll bump it up for the third set. At the end of the day, if you go a little bit sub-maximal in one training session, 1 week, especially when you're in my situation, getting shitty sleep, it's not the end of the world. If anything, it's probably the more ideal course of action to take as opposed to just fully sending it and then fucking your shit up, getting an injury and then being out of the game for a few weeks. It's better to just be intentionally out of the game for 1 day or 1 training session versus unintentionally out of the game for multiple weeks due to sustaining an injury because you just didn't want to dial things back for 1 session. So being sensible, being mature. About a finger in from the grip on the first set. Still feels pretty appropriate weight-wise, so I might keep it at that for the third set. But I'll watch the video back after I do the third set from this session, and if it looks a little bit too conservative, next week when I do the session again, I'll force myself to bump it up, and I'll make sure that my sleep's better between now and then so that I have the recoverability for it. But just because of the amount of pec tears I've sustained, I don't want to risk it. I'd rather leave a few reps in the tank. A deload session isn't going to hurt, or even just doing a deload on one exercise in one session is not going to hurt performance, it's not going to hurt growth or progress in any way, shape or form. Okay, final set. Okay, so 3 sets of this. I'm not going to move the 25-pound plates from under the handles because the actual bench is elevated as well, so just going to keep it at this. But I think this is trying to like turn the bench into a bit more of a flat bench, which isn't a bad thing. I just did an incline press anyway, so I might find this is actually a little bit easier than last week. I only did 2 plates per side on this for 11, 10, 9 reps last week. So if I can PB that, well, I'm going to regardless. I'm doing 3 plates a side. If I just, hit minimum number of reps for all 3 sets, that's a step in the direction that I want to be headed. Okay. Okay, rearranging the order of this session a little bit, doing the tricep work before the delt work, and I'm going to skip the pullovers tonight, just so I can get out of here at a reasonable hour, because it's already nearly 9 o'clock. And I need to eat a lot of food if I can sleep. Get good sleep too, that is. Same weight as last week, just going to aim for a rep PB if I can get it. So 15, 13, 12 last week, I believe, so anything better than that's good. The camera is overheating. Final set though, hopefully it doesn't cut off mid-recording. Otherwise you'll only be getting three sets recorded. All right, so my elbows are pretty warm. I'm just gonna dive straight into it. First working set, I got 4 of these. And there's only 5 minutes left to record on the camera, so you won't see any of the side delts that I do after this, but basically after the 4 sets of this, I've got some laterals on the machine, lateral raise, and that's the full session. So yeah, wanted to let you know so you don't think I'm skipping shoulders or missing anything. Not sure I'll get all 4 sets recorded. There's only 3 minutes left on here, but we'll see. Right, I'm going to trial recording this last set. Less than a minute recording to spare though, before the SD card's maxed out.